And we're live. Welcome everyone to another workshop here with us at Mode. Today we have a special integration that happened in the past 2 or 3 days that it was announced yesterday with SQD. I'm still used to calling you guys Subsquid. I know quite a few folks from the team from way back. Here with Carl. How are you, man?
Yeah, thanks for having me. I'm doing well. How are you?
All good, all good. I know you have a very comprehensive workshop ready for us, so I won't bother you with too many questions. I just want to know what do you do at SQD, and yeah, what you got cooking for us today? What's expecting for us?
Yeah, so I'm part of the product team at SQD, and so what I want to do, should I start or?
Yeah, yeah,
All right,
for sure.
so what I want to do is on the next slide. So today I would like to introduce, pretty much answer the questions like what, why, and how. So what is SQD? Who I am, why you should use SQD, how you should use it, how we differ, and what we are planning to do in the near future. Then after the theory is kind of done, I would like to move to the practical side and speak like for half an hour. Let's see how much time I have left, but for half an hour about our SDK, cloud, and how to pretty much go from an idea to index data on Mode. And yeah, and then I would like to dedicate some time to some questions, if there are any, for like 5-10 minutes, and let's see how that goes.
That sounds like a perfect plan. Awesome. So I usually ask people coming to give the workshop to explain and address builders. So this is great. You'll learn what is SQD, why should you use it, use cases, and a walkthrough on how to use it on Mode. And if people are hungry for more later, we can have another workshop later on with more details and maybe directed to power users. So this is great. I'll leave you to it, and I'll be around looking for questions and stuff. Maybe I'll bother you in a bit.
No, I mean, please do, please do. Yeah. So as Fede mentioned, this is kind of like, let's call it intro to SQD. If there is some interest for, let's say, some advanced examples in the future, like, we are more than happy to do more workshops. But think of it as like SQD 101. So the first thing you should know is that we are no longer Subsquid. We are SQD. We recently rebranded earlier this year from Subsquid.io to SQD.dev. Still in the process, almost finished, but please visit our new website if you want to learn more about us. So, what is SQD? That's a great question. I would separate into three parts. So, if I should answer it in one sentence, I would maybe answer it with something that you can, for example, find on Alchemy, so that SQD enables permissionless, cost-efficient access to petabytes of high-value Web3 data. If you would like to have, let's say, one paragraph answer, that's a great answer from our co-founder Marcel. That's SQD is a decentralized query engine optimized for efficiently extracting large volumes of data. It unlocks functionalities for advanced use cases such as AI, zk proof, and etc. However, I'm not sure if you if you grasped really what is SQD after even this explanation. So what I like to say is that you should think of SQD as a way how to build your own indexer, your own logic, how to retrieve data from Mode or other chains, and then how to create APIs for data so you can work with the data in your front end. So going forward is the question why you should use SQD, right? I assume you already have some solution or you are using another providers at the time. That's totally fine. I'm not here to tell you that you should drop them and just start using SQD. All I'm kind of like asking via this workshop is just give us a chance and try it out. So there are several reasons why you should try it out or use us. And one of the first ones and most important ones, especially for you, I assume that most of you listening right now are developers, is that we really aim to be the most flexible indexing SDK and one of the most, let's say, dev-friendly SDK. So via our SDK that I will showcase later during this workshop, you can do multi-chain indexing at one place. You can customize the hell out of it, to be honest. It really depends up to your skills and creativity. And then you can deploy it either to our cloud or cloud solution, or you can self-host it. Second reason is the speed, of course. So if you are, for example, using RPC and then you try SQD, you will immediately see the difference, like going from hours or days to seconds or minutes. Then our wide coverage of chains, wide coverage of support for chains. At the moment, I calculated today, we support over 170 chains. Like over 50% of it is EVM, of course, including testnets as well. And the rest is Substrate. So for example, Polkadot, etc., Polkadot ecosystem, etc. And then, of course, we also support chains such as Solana, Starknet. In the future, we have ambitions to support pretty much everything, but in the near future, we have ambition to finalize our support for Tron and Tone. And yeah, so fourth point why you should use us is the high quality of data. So for most of the chains, unfortunately not for Mode at the moment, but maybe in the future we can definitely do it, is that we support traces or state diffs. So you get really detailed information on scale really fast, which I think is great. Then you have to add to it also the cost efficientness aspect of it, because if you want to use RPC to get traces, I assume you know it just costs a lot of money, and that's a problem if you want to scale things up. And of course, as I already mentioned, in the SDK, you can easily deploy the logic that you just created, I mean the indexer, and deploy it on our cloud. Then let's say the second, I have several slides for why you should use SQD, but I like to tell a story of how I actually got even into blockchain indexing. So I was looking for solutions that could scale, and pretty much I wanted to create a better version of Dex Screener like 2 years ago. I couldn't really find any solutions that would allow me to do multi-chain indexing on scale, wouldn't bankrupt me, and would provide me real-time data, customize it, meaning that I could create new entities, create new logic in real time, etc. And then I found SQD and I stick to using it, and now I'm even working at the company. So how I like to position us is that we are high performance, high scalability solution, meaning if you use APIs, there are really good API providers such as Defined, or they are now named Codex. That's great. They have really good data. However, it's really hard to scale it, and it's really hard to have, I don't know, let's say a million API calls. It will just become a problem eventually. If you want to use RPCs, that's great. It's fine. However, once again, you you will end up maintaining it at least like once per week, because there are always problems, and you will have to work with the data afterwards. You cannot really customize it in real time. Of course you can, but not at the same place. Then where I like to put our competition, because once again, this is an industry that's still brand new. A lot of new companies are trying to, let's say, innovate it. Of course, the graph was the first one, the pioneer. We all recognize it, of course. But where I like to put, of course, like where I put our competition is that they like the, let's say, the scalability aspect of things, because they might provide some data points, they might provide some ways how to index data, but what they are pretty good at is doing the basic things well. But if you want to really scale things up, if you want to have really complex logic in your indexer, and if you want to, yeah, if your goals are just like, let's say, above average, you will just end up looking for a different solution, or you will end up using several ones because one will be just not enough. So yeah, scalability. If you want to scale things up, that's problem number one. If you want to scale things up with real-time data, problem number two. If you figure this out, the cost of all of it is really hard to keep it low. And even if you somehow figure it out, customize it in real time, it's really hard. If you've ever tried to do it, you know what I'm talking about. And then, of course, the last aspect of the things is the reliability. So even, once again, even if you find good RPC node provider, that's cool. I mean, I'm totally fine with it, but I think you will agree with me that it doesn't work like that, that you would just look at the data once a month and be happy about it, because there are always some problems, at least from my experience and from the experience of working at SQD. And the third slide that I have for why you should use SQD is once again the scale of things that we do. So one of the biggest benefits of using SQD is, once again, you can just tap into the data that we already have stored. So if we say that we integrate new chain, that we support new chains, for example, Mode Network, we don't just say that it's EVM compatible chain and that you can index it, but we actually have the data ready for you to use. So right now, as you can see, we have over 800 terabytes data stored in the past 90 days. We are aiming to calculate it finally in petabytes very soon. Personally, really looking forward to that. And I think this is definitely one of the most, let's say, unique differentiators of SQD and our competition. The company SQD was started in 2021 as, let's say, answer to the graph, the pioneer, as I already mentioned. And our co-founders, Marsa and Dima, they just wanted to create something different, something with a different architecture that could actually work on scale. And right now, we have hundreds of projects using us. Please go to our website. There is a section with use cases. And for example, you can check out case studies with PancakeSwap or Railgun. Then a question that was even asked on Twitter is, of course, a logical one. We get asked that a lot. What you can build with SQD? Short answer is, and I mean it seriously, anything that involves blockchain data. So, of course, the most popular ones are NFT marketplaces, DEXs, analytics use cases, or governance portals. However, you can even use it for some things, for games, right? Or for like leaderboards or leaderboards inside the games. Or you can even use it for selecting wallets that would be eligible for your airdrops, etc. Like, really, once again, it depends up to your skills, creativity, and yeah, that pretty much sums it up. Sorry. Regarding, once again, how we differ, I don't want to really speak about, like, yeah, this workshop is not just about me comparing SQD to other, like the graph, Zetabox, space and time. Not at all. Like, I respect all of the mentioned companies. However, if you ask me during a call, like how we differ, it's like my answer is always the customizability aspect. That's number one. Number two is real-time data, including unfinalized blocks, which is really good. Then we also differ that we don't really limit users in our cloud solution with API requests. So right now it's unlimited, which is also a great selling point. and then the whole package. So we have right now three main products, which is our SDK, which is open source. So once again, you can use our cloud solution for hosting, but you don't have to. The second product is the cloud, and the third, let's say, product is our decentralized network that will be, that will see many changes in the upcoming months. And so let's go to, let's go to the roadmap. So as you can see, this year we would like to manage to finalize three, let's say, releases, data streams, data sets, and light squids. So what that means is that right now, when you want to index anything, as I said, you like one part of the process will always be RPC endpoint. And what we want to achieve is to offer a product called data streams. What that means is that you won't have to use RPC at all, and you can just use SQD for the whole journey. I'm personally really looking forward to that because I think it will really innovate the whole industry. Because if you've ever worked with blockchain indexing, I think you know what I'm talking about. Secondly, data sets. What that means is that developers and analysts will be able to put their own data on the network, and then others will be able to use it, and you will be rewarded for it. And LightSquid is that fully decentralized API deployed to AVS or client-side production environment. It hasn't been really specified yet, but you will see it. You will hear about it very soon in the upcoming months. And what I'm also excited about is that in the future we will aim to have on-chain SQL, and that will change a lot of things as well. Right now, you may see that some companies already kind of like is introducing SQL into blockchain data, but it's still in its beginnings, and it's really hard to scale. And we are all about scalability, and we would love to do something with this later next year.
I'm a little bit intrigued by on-chain SQL. I like that. Do you have any idea on how that will look like? Because I know that for example, in Dune and in a lot of these, data analytics tools, you can use SQL to query data. The main problem there is decoding the data. So like understanding exactly like the events from contracts and stuff. Any idea on how that would look like, or you cannot share? Yeah.
I mean, once I cannot share. That's point number one. Point number two is I would redirect everyone who is also intrigued by it is to go to our blog. And last month let me actually find it. And
I can look for it. It's the SQD blog.
Yes, I mean, let me just. Yeah, it's called Data Streams, LightSquid, Indexers, SQD's new game plan. It was shared on July 16th. And this pretty much explains what I was describing before. And there's also a section with the SQD's network development game plan. And I'm not sure if SQL is there described as well. Let me share the link with you in the studio, and you can share it with other people. Yes, so I'm excited about it as well, and I'm not sure if you've ever used like Dune for some complex queries, but I tried to use it earlier this year to retrieve data about Spark, some, let's say, complex queries, and that it was like 100 lines, maybe 200 lines of code, and it took me like 10 minutes to retrieve the data. So what I mean by scalability is to it just doesn't make sense for anyone to wait 10 minutes for the result, right? So so that's what we are trying to solve, is to have just once again hyper scalable kind of solution to blockchain data.
Yep, for sure. Thanks for the answer.
And so are there any questions so far? I'm not sure if I can see.
No,
The chat.
I'll let you know. I can pin the questions if they show up in the comments, and if not, I'll bring you some from the community, and we can leave them for
Cool.
the end. Yep.
Cool.
Thank you.
Yeah, so this is the end of the practical part. And now I would like to go to, sorry, the end of the theoretical part. And now I would like to go to the practical part. So, one sec. Share different tab. So I'm going to play like, be a little bit like, let's say, dumb or act like I've never heard of SQD and this is just my first time. So when someone ends up on our website, once again, like going from an idea to index data. So what you should do is to click on for developers, and you will get redirected. You will get redirected to our documentation, and here is pretty much, I would say, 95% of things. If you are interested in using SQD, like this is the side that you want to read. This is the side that offers 95% of information that you need, and the rest can be retrieved in our support channels that are also present on the website. Primarily, it's Telegram group chat and Discord. So let's say you just want to index something for the first time. So you click here on the SDK, and here you find section called examples. Right now, we have 21 examples that we maintain. Yeah, it differs. It's either EVM, Substrate example. We have also some starters for Solana Fuel. But since Mode Network is EVM based chain, I would like to start with our EVM template that indexes Ethereum burns. So I click on it. I'm redirected to the GitHub repository, and here I click on Open in Gitbot. Of course, you can open the repo in, I don't know, Visual Studio Code, whatever you prefer. But for workshop-related purposes, I will open it Gitbot because it's just much easier. So it automatically creates the configuration for me, and I just continue, and it starts. So you already see here. Let me share it. You already see here that it just started working. What it means is that it's now installing all the necessary packages. Here in this second terminal, you see that it waits for the packages to be installed, and then it will open the Docker. Open the Docker instance. This is for the GraphQL interface. You will see it very soon. The port, and here you will see once the setup is done. Right now you see that it's already building the indexer, and very soon you will see the process. So here you already see that the database, local database was created, the table where the data is stored, that it already started processing the data. And however, this is Ethereum data. We don't want that. So I will just click Control C and stop the process. Now I'm at the point where I'm showing you something that is quite complicated and it's quite hard to understand. So I decided for this workshop that we could try something new. And I actually saw it on Twitter a few days ago that you can actually put repository on Replit and ask AI questions what each file does. So let's try it. So please copy the GitHub Squid EVM template. Yeah, copy this link for GitHub, and if you have a Replit account, hopefully I'm pronouncing somehow correctly, please go there. Then you click on create new one.
Correct. Do you want to share the GitHub link so I can share it in the chat?
Yes. Sorry, one sec.
Yep. Great. Thank you.
Yeah. No, thank you for stopping me. And here you want to click on import from GitHub, and here from URL, and here you will put the link that I just mentioned. I don't have a paid account, so it will be public, and you just click on import. Long story short, just create. I'm just importing the repository. Here I have just the README file, and just click here, confirm and close. So right now, what I did was just pretty much imported the repository that Fede shared with you. And what you want to do here is to click on plus and ask AI. Where is it? Ask AI for files. So I just started conversation with hey, and here in context, you can put any file that you just want answers about. So this is where the explanation from me finally starts. So the main files that you need to understand in order to build any indexer lies here. So in the source folder, you have two files: processor and main. So right now, I will just ask AI. I'm a new user of SQD. Please explain me what the processor file does. And it explains actually much better than I could ever do. So once again, so it imports all the necessary functions and classes from the package EVM processor library, and just defines how we communicate with the chain. Here it says Ethereum, but it can be Mode. I will show you that afterwards. Then you set the data source, in our case, the network, and then the RPC. You then customize the finality confirmation, so that specifies how many blocks should be confirmed before the data is considered final. So that usually it's 10 or 15, or it can be even 75, up to you, up to your use case. And then you can specify the fields that you want to retrieve from the chain. So you set fields. In our case, we just want to get from and to address. Then you can also specify the block range. So what that means is that I believe that Mode Network right now has around 13 million blocks, if I'm not mistaken. So for example, you can specify that you want to retrieve transactions only from 6 million to 10 million, or from the start until 2 million, etc. It's really up to you. And then, of course, there is a huge space for the customizability. So I assume you know how blockchain transactions work. There are several fields, several topics that you can filter by. And so you can do that in this file. And in summary, processor file configures the process of indexing data from the Ethereum mainnet, Mode Network mainnet, whatever you specify, sets up the data sources, filters the transaction process, and defines the fields that are extracted. And then if I add here into the context or also the main file, and I ask, what is the difference between the processor file and the main file? it will pretty much tell you that in the main file you specify the logic, how you want to work with the data. Yeah, sorry. So the processor file is the data extractor and filter, pretty much. You set up from where you want to retrieve the data, what you want to retrieve and filter. And the main file is the data processor. So it runs the processor, it processes the data, it stores the data, and the output is the process data for later retrieval and analysis. And yes, I will not mention this. Long story short, what I wanted to achieve with using Replit is our documentation right now is not perfect. We are aware of it. However, although we are doing our best, if you have any questions, like some basic ones or complex ones, like please use AI, because it will be maybe faster than, I don't know, asking on Discord or Telegram.
And right, that was my question. So this is great, and I thank you for the honesty. And like I've worked with documentation. Documentation is never finished. You're always working on it, and especially when the product is shifting fast. So this is awesome. Here for everyone listening and watching, you just got a tool for you to just make questions and get the easiest things or the simpler questions out of the way. But if AI is not working and I'm banging my head against the keyboard thinking like, okay, I cannot make this work, how can I reach out to the team or how can I get further support? What's the best way to do that?
Yeah, that's a good question. Let me share the website once again.
Yeah.
So here in, where is it? Yeah, in the build section, you have a link for support. So once you click on it, you will get redirected to Telegram group. I cannot share it here. Yeah, you will get redirected to this group, Squid Devs. It has around 500 members. Most of them are developers. As you can see, 127 are online. Your questions usually get answered within minutes, either by our co-founder or technical team, or even some of the members of our community that share even their own squids projects for others. So that's one way how to do it, and the other way is so let me just go back to the website. On the bottom of the site, you will see a link for Discord as well.
Awesome.
Here. So you can join our Discord as well, and Telegram is maybe answered faster, but we do our best on Discord as well.
That is perfect. Thank you.
No, yeah, thank you for the question. So going back to Gitbot. So far, I kind of explained to you what the processor and main file does in the source folder. There is much more that I guess I cannot really finish during this workshop, but please go to our documentation to learn more about especially the ABI folder and the model. So you can, long story short, you can put any ABI files. You can place here any contract ABI files such as, I don't know, USDC ABI, and then run command SQD typegen, and you will get a model for the data. So long story short, this is one section that will not be explained during this workshop, but is quite valuable. So please read it in our docs if you're interested. And one more thing I would like to mention is whenever you are just not sure, you can just put into terminal SQD help. And what you will see here is, first of all, the version of the command line interface that you are using. So in this case, 2.13. Then you will see all the cloud commands that are relevant, and primarily the squid commands. So the squid commands are clean, build, up, down, and here you have a description what it means. And you can even open via SQD docs Yeah, let's try it actually. So as you can see, right now it would redirect me to our docs. I'm not going to go there right now, but all I'm saying is you can. And if you don't like these commands and I don't know, you would like to change it to SQD mode, for example, you can do it as well. You can just go here into commands JSON and you can just change, yeah, like instead of SQD process, you can just change it to whatever you like. So once again, super customizable SDK, open source, and hopefully dev friendly as well. So let's go. Let's go actually index some data. So going totally back to point 0. So what is this repository about? It's called Squid EVM template. It's the most basic, let's say, template that we offer for for people that just want to play around and start with SQD. And what it does, you can find in the processor file. So it looks up data from right now from Ethereum mainnet. We will change it to Mode Network very soon. Then it uses RPC to get the latest blocks. I will just comment it for now because we will not use RPC. Then it says that transactions are, let's say, described or classified as finalized after 75 confirmations. And here we say that we want to filter all transactions. We want to filter all fields from transactions that are from, value, and hash. Here I'm saying that I want to start indexing data from 0, from the genesis. And here at the end, I'm saying that I want to filter all transactions that are that have 75 confirmations, that includes from value hash from 0, and that have been sent to this burn address. So let me show you what I mean. I will go to Mode Explorer right now. I will put the address, the burn address here. And as you can see, it has 73 transactions, okay? I will click on it. And I see here the transactions. I will filter it by outgoing. And you can see that there are 3 transactions. So 3 transactions. These transactions, we are not indexing. We are indexing incoming transactions. So those that were sent to the address. And as you can see, the latest one was sent 1 month ago. So block starting 11 million, and the oldest one start at 2 million. Okay, so this is, let's say, I think the best way how to just jump into SQD. So let's go back to Gitpod and let's actually index the data from Mode, not from Ethereum. So in order to do that, you need to change the source for the data. Right now, what we are saying, let's filter all those data from Ethereum. But as you can see here in the comments, like you have to look up the archive and on this side. So when you copy this into your browser, I will send it in the studio as well. You can see all the EVM gateways, all the EVM networks that we support right now. It is over 80 EVM networks. And when I when I go to M, I will see. Yes, sorry, you don't see it. When I go to M, I will see Mode Network right here, Mode Mainnet. So what you need to do is copy this link for the archive and put it here instead of Ethereum mainnet. So you need to replace this with this, save it. And right now, what we did, we just changed the source of data for the indexer. So right now the logic is the same as was like 5 minutes ago. The same logic for Ethereum, same logic for Mode Mainnet. But the output just dramatically, of course, changes. So since we did it and we already started indexing before, what we need to do is to clean the environment. So what that means is that we need to put to sleep the Docker instance. We need to clean the migrate database, or the local database Postgres that we created. So I will clean it. I will put back to life the Docker instance. As you can see, it was created and started the container. I will, via the command SQD migration generate, I will generate once again the Postgres local database. And what it means right now is that I'm ready to start again. So if I click on SQD process, it should work, hopefully, if I haven't made any mistakes. And I haven't. So as you can see, we are now finally indexing Mode Network, not Ethereum. And within 5-10 seconds, we index it all. We indexed it all from 0 to 12,700,88303. Several commands to this. First of all, here you can see line number 1, that it's processing blocks from 0. Why? Because we define it in the processor file. Line number 2, that is using archive data source. So when you go back to the processor file, you can see that I commented the RPC endpoint. And I didn't comment the, how is it called here? Archive data source. So the archive data source is this link, set gateway mode mainnet. Okay, and then it started the indexing process, and literally in 5 seconds it went from 0 to the top of the archive, which is 12,788,000. However, if I go back to the Mode Explorer, you can see that total blocks, the number just differs. It's almost 13 million. So the archive right now is missing around 200,000 blocks, or less than 200,000. So to explain this is that our archive is updated several times during the day. However, maybe sometimes once a day, sometimes 2 times a day, sometimes more. But right now, as you can see, we are missing the latest blocks. So if you want to retrieve the data, even unfinalized blocks, you need to use RPC endpoint. So our archive, or data source, usually covers, I would say, 95 to 99% of the data for the given chain. In this case, we miss some data. However, it's not a problem in this case because we've indexed it all. I will show you in 1 second. So, and how I will show you that is you can see this on Gitpod, but if you are working, I don't know, in Visual Studio Code, 1 second, I will just open new terminal. And once again, I will do SQD help. If you want to see this GraphQL interface where you can query the data, you simply just need to do SQD serve, and it will open it. Okay, and if you want to start a production interface that has caching and limits involved as well, you need to do serve prod. You can once again you can change these commands in the commands JSON file. So I will make it larger for you to see. So right now you see 4 sections here: burns by ID, burns connection, and squid status. Two relevant sections for this workshop are squid status and burns. So what squid status does is that it gives you the height of our archive. So once again, it's 12,788,303, and the current block is 12,000,095 something. And this squid status entity, or I don't know how to call it, is involved in all squids. And so if you are doing multi-chain indexing, you can just check across all chains where our archive currently is. And then if we want to actually see the data, so I will just limit it by 10. I will order it by the block. So I will start with the latest ones, so ascending, and I will just put address, block, ID, transaction, hash value. Value will be 0, but it doesn't matter. So as you can see, I will close this. As you can see on the right side, we got our data. We got our burns, the transactions that were sent to the burn address. So to, let's say, double check that this is correct, let's check this number. Let's check the block number, and let's check the transaction hash. What our indexer is right now saying is that the latest transaction was with this hash and at this given block. So 2,086,901. Let me go back to, I will share it with you. Let me go back to the Mode Explorer and go to the burn address that we just indexed. I will filter it by incoming transactions. I will go to the last one, and as you can see, the last burn transaction was 2,086,901. So which is that one that we indexed. So it's correct. And the transaction hash ends with F2CF. So let me check the view. And yeah, F2CF. So what I'm just trying to say is that the data is correct. I will do now block descending, so you can see that we got even the latest data. So the latest block, latest transaction was on 11,329,427. And if I go back to the Explorer and I check the latest transaction, it was here once again, 11,329,427. So what it means is that we got all the transactions. You didn't even have to use RPC for that. We just used our archive, and we got all these transactions. I think it's 70 transactions. We got transaction hash, we got block, we got from and to, we got the value. And if you want to customize it, you can even create new field for the fee. You can even add new logic to it. For example, I don't know, you can even create, I don't know, a month entity that would tell you that this transaction was sent in August, etc. So long story short, this is kind of like SQD 101, going from an idea to index data. However, at this point, this is all local, right? So right now you are building locally, you get the data locally, you cannot share it, you cannot put it into your application, etc. So what we want to do, or what I want to showcase here, is how to go from this data to actually going from this to having it deployed on our cloud. So I will go back to our website. I will click here on the section products, SQD Cloud. I will click on get started. I will get into this interface that, of course, I'm already logged in. You will have to either create new account or log in. And the first, let's say, homepage for you is the scripts after you create organization. So what we want to do is what we want to deploy it. So I will click on deploy script. And here you have step-by-step, let's say, tutorial what to do. So first of all, you need to set up the script command line interface. We've already done it at the beginning. Then you need to set up the API token. So let me do it right now. Yeah, I've tested it before, but I will create new API token, Mode Network Workshop test. I will set expiration for 7 days. And as you can see here, the instructions are clear. So first of all, it tells you that you should copy it, that it will not be displayed again. This is a standard thing. Standard thing. And the second thing is that to authenticate yourself in the terminal, you need to run the following command. So what I will do is I will copy it. I will go back to Git pod. I will show you. I will put it here. I will put it in the terminal. Feel free to take screenshots, whatever. I will delete the API. I will delete it afterwards, so you won't be able to use it. But once you click enter, it tells you that you're successfully logged in as the email that you provide. In my case, that's my work email. And when you go back to the cloud, so you click on done, you see that the API token was created with the expiration. You can delete it here. And when you go back to the tutorial, second step is called set up your script. We don't have to do it. We've already done it. Customize your script. That's optional. We won't do it right now. And the fourth step is called deploy. So once again, it's quite easy. It's called SQD deploy org, called demo SQD. That's the organization's name, and then you just mention the script name. So I will copy this, go back to Gitpod. I will just delete the script name because in this case I don't have to have it there because I'm already in the folder. And voila, it's preparing the script for deployment. It's building the script. And as you can see here, it tells you may now detach from the build process by pressing Ctrl+C. The squid deployment will continue uninterrupted. So, okay, I will do that. And I will go back to the cloud interface. And as you can see here, it's in the process. So EVM template is in the process. I click on it and you get redirected to the, let's say, Squid project on the cloud. In the general section, you see the status. Right now it's deploying. Then you see the URL. You see the description that we could have changed. I didn't change it. You see when it was deployed, created, etc. In the details, you see pretty much the configuration for the processor API, add-ons, etc., etc. So right now it tells you that the processor is starting, that the API is already available, and that I chose profile for the database as small, and the storage is quite small. If I have some complex project, I will run into issues. In the logs section, it's already showing logs, so it's just telling you this is standard. I assume it just tells you what it's doing in the background, and the latest message is that the database is ready to accept connections. In the metrics section, right now, of course, we haven't used it yet, so there are no metrics, but we provide quite detailed metrics in terms of even the response latency, RAM usage, traffic. You can filter quite detailed, like today or up to 30 days. In the deploy section, you clearly see that I deployed it. I deployed it at this time and it succeeded. in the database access is that just information that you can share with others. Of course, be cautious. And yeah, and then we have manifest that's also displayed in the SDK and package. So pretty much tells you what libraries it's using and up to which version it is updated at the moment. And so when I go back to EVM template, so I will just update the site, still processing, but I just clicked on the URL, and as you can see, it's working already. So when I click on squid status and I click hide, it tells me the same number, but right now what is special is that it's not in the local environment anymore, but it's already usable even for production. And when I click on burns, order it by, once again, by block, the latest in blocks, address block, transaction hash value. So you see the same information, but we went in like 5 minutes from local environment to actual like production environment. So what I'm trying to say is this is one of our products, of course, where you can host the data. But if you choose not to, you can self-host it as well. Or this is just really convenient solution how to do it. You can have several organizations. We also provide add-on service called RPC add-on service, and where we have, I'm not sure if we have for Mode. We don't at the moment. We have for a lot of chains our own add-on RPC service, so you don't have to. You just don't have to find your own RPC provider. And I think I will stop sharing, and I think I'm quite on time to finish
That is
my
spot
presentation.
on. Impressive. I don't know how much you practiced, but that was
Not at all.
perfect.
Not at all.
That's how you do a live workshop. That's perfect. Yeah. No, the time were
Yes.
great. I do have one question from one of our devs in one of the chats in Discord. He was intrigued on your plugins. So he was asking, what plugins do you recommend for VS Code? Because I think you showed us you got GraphQL. I think you were using the terminal only, and then seeing the results. I think.
It's called Gitpod. It's not. I mean, let me share it with you. It's this
Okay.
online.
Is it a plugin? Or, you were using, right?
No,
It's not.
It's not a plugin. It's just like a workspace for projects online, but you can.
Right. Yeah. So I think he was confused there. Okay, great. I think if you go to GitHub and I don't remember now, if you put a dot somewhere, you can access it. Command something. Yeah.
One sec, I will share it.
It's really useful to test out quick stuff, to be honest.
No, I mean, absolutely. Honestly, I didn't really know about Gitpod until like a month ago, and then actually during a workshop with another chain, one of the developers showed it to me, and I just had this wow effect.
Yeah. And same here. It happened the same. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, I was just coding everything in Visual Studio locally, but since then I'm just using Gitpod because it's just much. As you said, it's just way better for testing.
Yeah.
So I sent you this GitHub Squid EVM template. I think you shared it with all developers. You can find it in our documents or even in our GitHub profile. And then when you scroll in the README, there's this button open in Gitpod. And when you click on it, it will automatically redirects you to Gitpod. You just click on that you confirm, and then it automatically starts the project. You don't have to do anything. So it automatically starts indexing the data. But what I did, I would just change, not just, but what I was explaining that I changed the data source from Ethereum to Mode Network, and then I just went through the whole process. But if anyone is interested, just please click on this. It will take you 5 minutes maximum, and you will see if you like it or not.
Love it. That's great. That's even easier for everyone watching. So if you're having doubts, if you had to set up your local environment or whatever, just go to that repo and click on that, and that's it. It does take a little bit to load sometimes. I've been stuck like a few minutes while loading for the first time in general, like Gitbot, but afterwards, then it's really easy to use and out of the box almost. Yeah.
Yeah, hopefully.
Awesome. Yeah.
And yeah, are there any other questions, or I guess, or should I
Mm,
should I say
not
my
for
conclusion
now.
kind of?
Yeah, yeah. Go ahead, please. One last
Yeah, I
few words.
mean,
That would be great. Yeah.
last kind of sentence is that if anyone needs any help, as I said, like we are happy to help on Telegram or Discord, and if there is some demand for, let's say, more advanced workshop in the future, like just let please Fede or me know, and I think from our side, like we are definitely happy to do more workshops and yeah, kind of contribute.
Yeah, that's awesome. For anyone listening, if you need to contact the SQD team, if you have any questions, if you want to see more workshops, more content, more anything, any feedback on the documentation, on the templates, whatever, you can talk to me, you can talk to the Mo team or directly to them. Join their Telegram, chat with them. And yeah, luckily they're super open for feedback and open to discussion, which I love. So yeah, you can work as a community to improve the product and maybe get the features that you need in as well. So
Yeah,
yeah,
well
Karel,
said, well said.
this was epic, really nice, very complete, not only on why, on how to use it, but also on the why you think SQD is a great choice. So yeah, just inviting everyone to go try it out, test it out, give feedback, talk to the team, and yeah, whatever you guys need, we're at your service.
Yeah, I just hope that someone found it useful, and yeah, thanks for inviting me, us SQD, and yeah, well said from your side that we are open to any feedback, and just let us know like how we can improve, I guess, your experience, and yeah, looking forward to future collaboration.
Awesome. Well, see you everyone in the next one, and yeah,
Yeah,
thanks for
see
joining.
see you.